Alright guys, how you doing? I'm Chris Rohde for National RV Detroit in Belleville, Michigan. I'm going to do a walk around on this Flagstaff 235S Shamrock by Forest River, okay? We'll come around here and start in the front. I'm going to grab so you can stow those in the front. Some people get a Rubbermaid tote and they put their tools inside that to make it easier so they know where all their stuff's at. You got an electric tongue jack here on the front, little LED light, and then your up and down button. This will come in handy when you're getting it on and off your truck. If the battery was dead, if you had a malfunction with the motor on your tongue jack, this is the manual crank handle. This flips up, this little tab comes up, and then the crank handle goes down inside, and you can crank it up or down if you get into an emergency situation. Make life a little easier for you. You got two 20-pound propane bottles on the front, and then you have so you can access to turn them on or off without having to remove the whole cover. It's kind of a pain in the butt, but this makes it easier for you. Lefty loosey, righty tighty. You always want to make sure you turn your propane on and then light your stove burners. That's your biggest orifice. That allows you to blow out any type of air that's in the system. Sometimes you might go to light your furnace, go to light your hot water tank, and it won't light. Even though your propane's on, it could be aggravating. Light your stove, get a nice blue flame, and then shut it off, and then you can start your appliances, light them safely, and then everything should light right after that. Another cool thing Forest River does on this Flagstaff or Shamrock, they put this little caddy up front here. So when you stow this thing, a lot of people run this over, they drag it. When you take it in for service, they drop the tongue jack down on there and crushing it. So this way you got a nice little caddy to stow your 7-way and your chains. So if you do it right, when you unhook it from your truck, you'll hook it to here, and it's a nice clean place to put your chains and your 7-way. Very, very convenient. I'm going to drop this front bunk down for you. It doesn't matter if you have two people. I'll show you how to do it with one person, but you're going to release this handle. They do give you a lock, so if you do want to lock your front so nobody can bring your bunks up or down, you can lock it. But pull that one down. I always put my hand on here just in case, and then you'll grab it and pull it forward, making sure it's disconnected. And that's why I say sometimes it's nicer with two people, in case it gets hung up. And then you'll just walk it down. It's got these cables that are on here, okay? It holds 1,100 pounds. The cables support 1,100 pounds. And then when we go inside, I'll show you how to put the shepherd's pole in and expand the canvas there for you. All key to like. Very cool. A lot of people are manufacturers, it's tough for them to do that, where they key everything with one key. So you're going to get that, which is very convenient for you, so you don't have a bunch of keys on a key ring. You got the Go Power solar panel prep. So if you want to, you actually have the screen on the inside, so 90% of it's here. All you have to do is buy the solar panel, so you're in good shape with this one. So you buy your solar panels, depending on how many amps you want to draw in, you'll plug it into here and you got solar panel prep. I have this sitting on top of your grill, but so you have a griddle and your grill here that plugs into your quick connect right down here. So you got a LP quick connect that runs off your front LP bottles, and then you have this griddle so you can cook, eggs, bacon, breakfast for the family. It comes with this nice little deal here that slides on this rail. It slides on, it doesn't hook. So you can't walk up and hook it on, you actually have to slide it on. So just be careful. And then you'll put this guy on like this. There's two, see those those are hanging, those are pins. So you want to make sure that those pins are out. Then you're going to get that side on. This side on. And then you'll just slide around. There we go. And then you'll put the pins back in to lock it on there so it doesn't fall off. that's pretty much it. And then you could run your propane line through this hole here, off this regulator, running off the same propane bottles. So it makes it very nice and convenient for you. I'm going to remove it to make it easier for me. Your TV that's on the inside pops off the bracket. I'll show you that when we go inside, and it pops on out here. So you have inside outside TV, satellite and cable hookup, and then you have your outlets. Okay, so you can plug your TV in, or Xbox or PlayStation or whatever. And on the off door side, they give you your freshwater tank fill, which is right here. So you'll just lay the hose up in there and fill up your fresh water. So if you're going to use your water pump, you want to make sure you fill up from here. For boondock camping, or if you're traveling and your kids got to use the restroom, or you want to take a shower in the middle of nowhere, you want to make sure you got water in there and battery power, right? And then on the bottom side here, I'm really impressed with this. I've been doing this for 20 plus years, and they always give you just like a little screw cap for a drain for your freshwater tank. You get a 3-inch dump right here, and it's already open. We always leave it open when we winterize it, but this pushes in to shut it. This opens up to drain your freshwater tank. So remember, you got an LP quick connect for your griddle, and then you have an LP quick connect for your grill on both sides. Really cool. I don't know if the light, let me see this camera real quick. See that across the way there, guys? That red light on? That's your brains for your monitoring system and pressure gauge for your tires. I'm going to move on to that next. See those green valve stem caps with the yellow with the little red symbol on there? That lets you know that this comes with the TST truck monitoring system. So I'm going to grab it real quick. So you're going to pair these monitors on your, for all 4 tires with this monitor, pairing these valve stems there, so you'll know temperature and tire pressure. So you're going to know how hot they are or cold your tires are, and what the PSI is of all your tires. You can also go on their website and buy the additional valve stems for your truck. So if you want to know all your tires, what the temperature and the tire pressure are, very cool that this comes with that. So the tires, I showed you that module box underneath. That's what's actually talking to that board when you plug it in. And then this is your exhaust for your furnace. You got some outside marine grade speakers. This is your vent for underneath the range hood. And you have these 2 little tabs. You got to release them if you're going to use your fan. It's exhaust fan to exhaust food, smell out, or fumes. You open that and then shut it back. They do it twice on this. It's pretty cool. So you get a 30-mile-an-hour friction hinge door, and then they also give you a door latch. When doing the steps, you always want to make sure that the door is all the way open. Okay. So in this case, open the door all the way. This is 0 degree. This is the new fancy step. So it's 0 degree, 0 weight. Really cool. Little kid can do it, right? And they have these quick releases for the feet. So some of these are going to say retract step legs before closing entry door. So when you read that, that means you're going to push these down and retract those feet in, because if they're extended too far, they'll hit the screen and hit the door, and you won't be able to shut it properly. Okay. So I'm going to show you it working properly. Take your grab handle, push up, flip it over the door, nice clean look. And then you have an outside, they call this a step light, an on and off button for it's inside. So now you're going to pull this forward, and again, remember 0. You want to make sure the door's all the way open. And why I say that is because if it's just just open a little bit, it'll hit. See this here? It'll hit, and then you'll damage your door. So you want to make sure it's all the way open. So now, when you're getting all the way forward here, can actually pull the steps. This is that. Not most of them do this. They used to have pins that you had to push in. So you might see some videos where they have pins. You don't have pins. You have these levers here that retract it. Very, very fancy. So I see 3 holes. You're gonna go. You want to see 3 holes on this side. See 4 holes on this side. See 4 holes on this side. Make life easy for you. Another little tip. I got it too high. It looks fine and it's stable, but if you look right here, it's sticking up way too high for the door to shut. So if you went to try to shut the door, you're going to damage the door. Most people would push on it and go, what's going on? There's something wrong with the door. It's not the door. It's the steps. So in this case, you have the fancy steps. You're going to pull on these and push down. You know what? I'm going to do it up here. So there you go, nice and flush to the entryway, solid steps, and then now you can shut the door with the steps. So if you have the steps too high or not leveled properly, the door won't shut. And that brings me to your jacks. You got 4 stabilizer jacks. Remember, they're stabilizers, they're not levelers. They're not going to level your RV. They're just to stabilize it while you're walking around inside your camper. So what you want to do is level the camper with wood and blocks the best you can, and then you're going to put down your stabilizers. It comes with this manual crank handle. We always recommend you get a cordless drill and a socket, and then you can just stick it on there and zip them down, make your life a lot easier for you. Electric awning, I already put it out. It extends out 8 feet. You can pitch it. I don't recommend you pitch it, but you can. Basically what I did was I just pulled down on this this pivot point right here, and you have an Allen head on the inside which can loosen and tighten this pivot point, and then you have the shock that's built into the arm. The reason for that shock is so it can absorb the weather when it's mildly, a couple breezes, not storms and crazy, weather, but it absorbs the weather. If you have it just like this and a gallon of water builds up on top of your awning and you leave it just like it is, when the water builds up, it'll automatically dump the water. Nice and easy. So you're not sticking here with a broom handle trying to push the water off your awning. If you do bring the awning down and you tighten this up, make sure you loosen it before you put it away. That's important, or you'll damage the arms or the awning. I know I went by it already, but I want to talk about it for a second. This is your outside refrigerator. Just remember, it's not going to work when you're going down the road. It's 110, so it only works when you're plugged in. So you have to be plugged into your shore power to run your refrigerator. I put your rear bunk out before we started, just so you can see what it looks like put out all the way. You got your spare tire carrier on your bumper. It's pre-wired for a Furrion backup camera. They installed a hitch on the back, okay? That's not a hitch to tow. Always remember, if the hitch don't have the dog ears on there for chains, it's not set up to tow. That's just set up for a bike rack. And that's a 300-pound weight limit. Every other camper with no hitch on the back of there on a travel trailer, the weight is 150 pounds on the bumper. So you have a 300-pound weight limit on that hitch, okay, to put your bike rack. Now they put I'm going to call this universal docking center, okay? They put it on the outside of your RV for you. Very cool. Only thing I don't like is everything's black, okay? So you're going to have, it gets kind of confusing. They gave you a antifreeze inlet, so you can hook up to here, put a line in, jug antifreeze, turn on your water pump, suck the antifreeze out and into your lines. Okay, this is your black water tank flush, and this is your city water fill. Okay, so if you're going to hook up, you got a full hookup campground, right? You're ready to go camping. You're going to take your cord, you're going to hook it up to your cap right here, hook it up, put it in your dump station, pull your gray water. Boom, nice and easy. Gray water's flowing, real good to go. You got your city water connection, you got constant pressure to your sink, shower, and toilet, and your outside shower. You're not using your water pump or your gravity fill freshwater tank on your door side, okay? You're just hooked up to city water. You go inside, you put your chemical down your toilet, you got a couple gallons of water down there, and you want to leave it for either 1 day or 10 days, however long you're camping. It's important that the chemical sits in your toilet, breaking down the waste, using biodegradable toilet paper, okay? It's important. So let's say you camped for 7 days, your black water tank is full, you're ready to go home. So what you're going to do is you're going to pull your black water now. You're going to pull your black water. You're going to unhook the city water connection, hook it to your black water tank flush, and power wash your black water tank while you're dumping, cleaning it all out. So just remember, city water here, it's labeled on the left here. Black water tank flush is up here. And then this is your for winterizing or sanitizing your tanks. And again, you can always look up videos or check your owner's manuals. And then you have your satellite and cable hookups on both sides. And then this is your 30 amp marine grade power cord. It's right here on the back, makes it nice and convenient for you. You got your outside shower, hot and cold. You always want to make sure you always winterize that. Your dump hose can go in the bumper if you so choose. It'll slide right in there. And then your low point drains for your hot and cold water is right here. And there's a little tag letting you know that they're here. Put your cap back on for you. Outside a hot water tank. So this is a Suburban hot water tank with electric and gas. So it's important. I'm going to remove this for you. This little tab here, if I can grab it. There, I got it. So I'm going to take that off, and that's revealing your electric portion, your heating element for your hot water tank, to run it on electric. So you never want to have this on when the hot water tank is empty. You always want to make sure it's full, okay? So you release the pressure inside your hot water tank before you pull the plug. 1/1/16 is the size. It goes right over top, and you can pull the plug right out. And it's got an anal rod connected to it. And you want to replace that once a season. It keeps you have a steel hot water tank. It prevents it from rusting inside out, okay? And then you have these resets right here that if your hot water tank doesn't light for some reason on electric, these will deploy out, and you'll reset them by pushing in. Okay, so make sure this is always in the off position when you're not using it, or it'll burn up your heating element. I got your slide out all the way out. A little bit of storage. And inside your front compartment on your off-door side, right on the left-hand side, they give you an inverter, okay? Underneath your bed, in the front bed, there's an inverter button, which I'll show you inside. So, I'm just going to explain real quick. I showed you your cord on the back, okay? That's a 30 amp power cord. You plug in, and it goes through your converter, charger, converting 110 to 12 volt, okay? And it's charging your battery on the front. What the inverter does, it does just the opposite. It takes 12 volt battery power and turns it into 110. So remember that. If you're using your inverter, it's going to kill your batteries pretty quick, okay? When you're plugged into 110, it's charging your batteries, and you have 110. So depending on which way you're using your RV. But you have an on and off button right where actually it tells you it's a fuse reset. And on the other side, you actually have a screen and an on and off button. But you have one on the inside too, and I'll show you where that's at. Welcome home. Wow, what a big difference with the slide out, right? So real quick, I'm going to put this out since I started. Here's those cables I was talking about, 1,100 pounds weight. So on this one, it's pretty kind of cool. They get the pole is in the crease, so it's not flying around when you take your shepherd's pole out. And then you have 3 positions of tension you want to put on your canvas. So the way you're going to start this is I always pull it out. They give you a little storage bin here, or a little shade. You're going to hook it to that part, push it up, and then because it's a little cold outside, there's going to be a little bit more tension on there, so I'm going to put it on the first position. And there you go. That's how you put your hybrid beds up. But you got zippers, you can remove the panels down. You can plug in all kinds of fancy stuff. On the inside here, if you wanted to purchase a bunk fan or a bunk light, there's a plug-in, 12-volt plug-in right there on the right-hand side, that little white cone. That's where you'll plug in your bunk fans. Since I'm over here, I'll start over here. Remember, this is a 3200 BTU electric heater. Your fireplace is. So it will come on. It does produce heat. So remember, when you're plugged into 30 amps and you want this to be on heat, you'll turn that on. Or you can have just the ambiance. But it puts out heat. It'll heat the coach up pretty nice if you're trying to save money on propane, okay? You got your speakers, inside speakers, outside speakers. Zone 1 in this case will be your channel. So see how it's blue and red? Red means it's off, blue means it's on. So you can pair this to your phone, it's Bluetooth, right? So we shut them off. We shut these speakers off. We're going to turn the outsides on. So that turns on your outside speakers, and then you can do both. Read your owner's manuals. Comes with a remote. That's a HDMI port and a USB port. So you can charge or put pictures on, or hook up and hook your DVD player up to it or whatever. TV actually comes out. They got it. You got a bunch of storage behind there, so you can. They even got a little rack if you want to hang clothes or shirts. However you guys want to utilize that storage, it's nice and big. This is your remember I was talking about your inverter. So this turns on your inverter and it gives you indicators right here. So if you want to pop popcorn or watch TV without being plugged in, if you're boondocking, that's where the inverter will come into play. 12-volt outlets right here. You got some USB ports, 110 outlets, and then right now, since I'm sitting here, this is your LP detector and CO detector. So that's hardwired into the coach. Just remember that that's always going to be on. So if you don't want your batteries to go dead, make sure you disconnect your battery or unplug it, take it home with you. Refrigerator is a Magic Chef. It's a 12-volt all the time refrigerator. I'm going to demonstrate real quick how to shut it off. So if you do want to turn it off when it's in storage, because it'll always be on. If you're plugged in or have 12-volt, your refrigerator will work. So you have to hold this button. It shuts it off, and then you can shut the doors. When you shut the door and you reopen the door, it automatically turns back on the refrigerator. So if you go to check, oh, is it shut? Boom, it'll come back on. So you got to make sure that you hold the button, shut it off, shut the door, and leave it shut, and it'll stay off. So that way it doesn't kill your battery. Okay. Your converter I was talking about and charger is right here. You have 110 breakers, 12-volt fuses. If a 12-volt fuse blows, they give you this little indicator window with a red LED light that'll come on, and you'll see it through this little window here, letting you know that that fuse blew. Remember I was telling you to light your burners at first, before you light all your appliances. So there we go. See how it's kind of crackling? You should always light that first, so that way it blows all that air off, so you can light all your appliances safely. This little switch right here, in the 1 position, it lights up behind your knobs here. Pretty cool. If you want your oven light on, you'll go to the 2 position, and that turns on your oven light. Now, with this oven, the igniter sparks down there. So what you're going to do is turn it to the fire position on here and push in. And then you're going to use your igniter to light the pilot. The first time will take a little bit because, like I told you, it's blowing air out. There we go. We lit the pilot. We're going to let that go for a couple seconds, and once the pilot's good and steady, then you can turn it up safely and light your oven. There she goes. So now she'll light on the first turn every time. Alright, bathroom, really nothing really crazy in there. You just want to make sure you use biodegradable toilet paper, use your chemicals like I told you, and then make sure you put water in the bowl before you flush it. Your thermostat for your coach is right here. That turns on your furnace temperature, right? And then you got your air conditioner would be cool, and that's your thermostat, basically just like at home. This is that GoPro or GoPower I was talking about, which is really cool. So we're plugged in 13.6. It's letting you know that it's charging. That's really cool. Let you know your batteries. But so you have A and B. Read your owner's manuals about this so you know how it's working. But it's letting you know your batteries are full, and if you have solar panels on the roof or plugged in, it's letting you know that it's putting in 100% of power, and then you can max boost if you need more power. But read your manual about it with your inverter converter, and it'll answer more questions about your low power. We'll finish this, and then we'll get you guys out of here. This moves your slide out in. Remember, it's always going to lift up. That's okay. And then when it comes in, you're going to hear a click, 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 click. You're going to want to release the button. I know it seems like forever, right? Now it's going to lift up, and there's the click. So then let it out, right? On the top part here, you have low, fair, good, and then battery charging. So you're going to hit your battery button, so letting you know it's charging and it's good. Fresh water is empty, black water, and gray water. And then remember I was talking about your hot water tank? So that button outside has to be on if you want it to work off electric, and then now that turns it on. So now it's working on electric, okay? If you want it to work just on gas, you're going to turn your gas button on, and then it's going to light up your DSI fault light, direct spark ignition. Then the light will go out. When the light goes out, that means your hot water tank lit successfully. If you ever look over here and see a red light right there, that means your hot water tank did not light. So I'm not going to let it run. I just want to show you that it's working and that it lit. We actually heard it. But if you ever see a red light, when this is on, your hot water tank did not light. Shut it off and figure out what happened. Water pump. This pumps water from your freshwater holding tank up to your toilet, sink, and showers. This brings your awning in. I won't hold that for the whole video, but just so you know, this brings it in, and this takes it out. Extend and retract. Pretty simple. One quick button for interior lights, and then this turns your porch light on. And then you have your awning light bar that's in your awning across the top there. And then I showed you that fancy step light. And then you guys have, so real quick, just control your RV. Scan this thing and download the app to your phone, and you'll be able to operate through the one control, your awning, your slide out, and your lights from your phone. Very fancy. And then you guys have a Wi-Fi extender. Again, read about it right here. It's your Wi-Fi Ranger, and this turns it on. So that turns on your Wi-Fi booster. So if you pair your phone to it, or if the campground has Wi-Fi, you'll pair it to there, and it boosts your Wi-Fi signal in your campsite. Very, very fancy. Well, I'm Chris Rohde for National RV Detroit. I hope you enjoyed this video. Have a great day.